What's going on, everybody? Zach from MAPerformance, and if you didn't know, this year we bought an Evo 10 and we built it. We did a full episode by episode build series on this car, from completely stock to what you see here. But what you're about to see here is a combination of all those episodes just baked into one, so you can watch the build from start to finish. So sit back, relax, and we hope you enjoy. I think what we're gonna do is get this thing in the air, give it a good once over underneath, and then here soon we're gonna crack the fluids out of it, get all that changed out, but one thing at a time. We'll take a look at it and see what it looks like. I have no beef.
No, I like it.
I have no beef with this particular Evo 10.
It keeps actually getting better, which is weird. I thought it was going to be like maybe a downhill experience, but...
Yeah. So I think we'll get to getting the driveline fluids done, the engine oil done. We'll probably throw some plugs in it.
Yep.
And go from there. Driveline package is concerned, we have this on our website for these Evo 10s. Super convenient. It's literally just a driveline fluids package. The redline stuff is super common, used by pretty much everybody in the Evo 10 community. Now we're gonna get started, get the fluids out of this thing, and see what we're working with.
See what
Let's take a look at what the oil looks like.
comes out here. The old Carvana special oil change.
That's right.
It's black already.
So apparently this was changed right before we got it. Jury's out on that one.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about all that. If I'm being honest.
Holy shit. Alright, sick.
It came out with force.
It's like water.
What the hell are they running in this thing?
I don't know.
I don't know if that's going to come through on camera over here, but...
It's like a major eruption. Had the intrusive thought of, what if we didn't? Oh yeah, that is disgusting.
Yeah.
Alright.
Very interesting that the trans was so clean.
It's not like...
It still has some color to it.
Yeah, it's still like a little transparent, but it's definitely a lot older than the gear oil.
Curious to see what this fluid is like. Oh.
It's pretty good.
So someone may have touched rear diff and transmission. Maybe. Hard to say. Rear diff doesn't get that dirty really unless it's been a million years or you're really piss pounding your car. Get rid of some of this crap, clean up, get it on the ground. Get the plugs changed. Air filter passes inspection.
Wow.
Look at that. Pretty sweet.
This whole setup. Hey, look what we got.
Hey, bonus. Free pocket screwdriver with any purchase of an Evo 10. Oh, there you have it.
All right, this is a disaster.
All right, what do we want to do with that? It's like that squid from Men in Black when he comes out of the car.
All right, do you want to run and grab some sort of oil bucket situation?
Yeah. Oh, this will be our clutch master replacement. Not made of plastic. What do y'all get in the kit besides the thing itself?
So, getting OEM Evo 89 clutch master with our bracket that adapts it to the Evo 9 or Evo 10 firewall and clutch pedal, and then also a replacement stainless line to go from the master to the slave. So we're going to remove the factory line out of the car as well while we're at it. So yeah,
sweet. Sounds pretty good. I think we're going to go ahead and tackle the exhaust manifold. Pretty much the entire time we've been doing other things, all of the hardware has been soaking in a whole bunch of penetrating oil, which may be futile and redundant, but we'll see.
Yep. Yeah, we'll have to
kind of see how it goes.
It looks like it'll come apart though.
Yeah. With a little bit of luck and a healthy amount of penetrating oil, each manifold fastener eventually came off. We also decided to replace all of the headside and manifold to turbo studs with new stuff. It's not something you have to do, but it could save you some headaches down the road. With that done, we're gonna lift this thing up. Since we have the entire front end of the exhaust off, now we figure we might as well just lift it up and take the cap back off.
Yep, just gonna do front to back and get it done.
Yeah, so get this thing in the air.
Yeah.
Extraction, very nice. Look at that stupid thing. Look at that.
Wow.
Just lube them up. Now with all the factory exhaust components removed, it was time to start installing the new stuff. Starting up front with our MAPerformance downpipe, exhaust manifold, and firewall heat shield, and ending with our full catback. Tell me how you're not say it is a super clean look back here with the new stuff in there. Between the manifold, the heat shield, and then if you can see it, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That is freaking nice. Beautiful. It's gonna look so good.
Yeah, those are gonna look great behind the wheels that we picked out.
Stylish and functional. All right. Now with brakes done, we can move on to getting our gauges wired in. This bad boy's right here. Right now we're working on getting the wiring side all plumbed through, the firewall and all that good stuff. We've got a lot of stuff ran interior wise right now. Just getting everything ran through the dash over there, and then the harness for the wideband O2 we ran underneath the carpet and over the tunnel. So getting all that done, and then once we have everything hooked up on the car side, we can plumb it all up into the pillar and into the gauges. All right, now with these bad boys installed, time to do some more fun stuff. We got 3-port boost controller from Cobb, got all of our intercooler piping, intercooler, intake, blow-off valve. Did I say intercooler? I think I said intercooler. Now we can do all that. We're gonna pop open all these bad boys and get going. Bad boys right here are some nice units. I'm gonna say these are some of the nicest coilovers I've really ever seen, put my hands on. I mean, and also, even though we had to quote unquote build them from scratch, like the instructions couldn't have been any easier, and Öhlins also like presets everything.
Yeah, everything was like preset. They tell you to make sure certain measurements are, you know, correct for spring preload, everything like that. But everything was like correct out of the box. So we just had to go through and verify that everything was tightened all the way. So
right, they're like, hey,
very simple.
Measure this, make sure this is this length. So we do, but it already was set to those lengths and stuff like that. So they make it very easy. Finally time
to reveal the wheels.
Ah, yes. Yes, here they are. Graham Lights 57 NRs. 18 by 9.5 plus 22 and a 265/35. Kind of right in there is your sweet spot for fitment on this thing, and I'm really excited to see how these line up on that thing, especially with the Öhlins in there. So it's gonna be pretty sick. Now that that's done, we have more exciting things happening. We may or may not have a particular carbon fiber piece from APR. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous piece. I think this wing's really gonna set this thing off. And we also may or may not have other items to match back here, which we'll get to momentarily. At first, we weren't really sure what we wanted to do from an aero perspective, but this wing from APR really adds just such an aggressive look to the entire thing, and the carbon is perfect. The weave looks great. Just the finish on the wing overall looks great, and we think it's a really nice piece, a really nice addition. Installation was a breeze to give you everything you need from hardware to everything else, and it uses the factory mounting locations on the trunk. So once you pull the stock wing off, installing this one is incredibly straightforward and really only takes a couple of minutes, so could not be happier. So next step, we're getting rid of this thing. As you probably guessed, that's what's in that large Cybon box right over there. Look at that. That's gonna look freaking sweet. Let's get this thing on the car, huh?
Yeah, take these pieces of wood off of it.
Yeah. So, well, obviously the hood's not fully seated, so don't mind the gap, but overall, it's a nice weave. Once RJ and I give it a legitimate polish, it'll really kind of come into its own, but right now, not bad at all. Now, We have a Cybon front lip to hopefully match the hood and everything else. So let's break this baby open, see what we're working with. Does look very nice. So, not too shabby. All right, this bad boy is attached, and honestly, it fits, I'm gonna say, extremely well. Like, you gotta convince it in some spots for sure, but as far as like how it lines up with certain spots on the bumper where a cheaper lip definitely would not line up.
Yeah, it kind of fits like tight in a good way where it like really pressures against the bumper, so it's not like got a weird gap or anything like that.
I think that's the trick, yeah.
Yeah. That's
very nice. That's
Whoa.
Very nice.
Yeah, that thing's sweet. Like the...
Wow. Yeah, here, let me... This is one of those pieces it's a perfect example of something you might not notice right away, but really ties like a build together, you know?
Just adds that little extra oomph.
Yeah. This is a really nice piece. I think that's gonna look pretty freaking sweet. All right, so after a little bit of screwing around, that's diffuser on. I really think this is just a nice piece, man.
Yeah.
Like, again, one of those subtle things that maybe after you look at the car for a minute, then you'll notice it. I think it's really just, I don't know, very OEM plus.
Yeah.
Ooh. Dude, that is so nice. Look at that.
Hey, we even get some hardware with it.
Thing's beautiful, dude. All right, there she is. Nice looking unit. You got a nice little sight glass on the side so you can see the level, and honestly, condition of the fluid, now that I think about it at the same time.
Yeah,
so
it looks
nice.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I like it.
So here we have our coolant overflow reservoir / catch can combo, and I'm just gonna say it, dude, I think this is literally the best in the business for the Evo 10. Yes, it's our own thing, but it's just so good, dude. We really love our catch can for the Evo 10s. Not only do you get to get rid of a super ugly coolant overflow bottle that nobody likes to look at, combining that with the catch can really just helps us take as much use as possible of the tight quarters in this engine bay. Super nice thing as well, a catch can is serviceable from underneath with a drain, so you don't have to take it out to empty it or anything like that. When you're changing your oil, super easy to get at it right by the oil filter. So very user-friendly, looks great in the engine bay, super hard to beat. I will say this is probably one of the best things you could do for one of these because everything is very wishy-washy.
Yeah, the factory shifter feels very loose and like, I don't know, gonna kind of hate on factory Mitsubishi shifters for a second. They're usually not very good compared to like Honda or, you know, I don't know, a few other ones out there, so.
If you can do something like this, you will not regret it whatsoever.
I don't know if you can tell any sort of difference or not.
It's a lot cleaner of an experience, is what the word I would use.
Usually that is where all of the squish comes into play because there's so much like rubber shit on those.
Yeah, it's much more direct.
Okay.
For sure. So now with all the shifter hoopla completed, we're gonna address something going on here, and that is securing our carbon hood with a set of latches. Some may say drilling into your carbon hood and adding a latch system to secure it may not be entirely necessary. However, we strongly recommend doing so, which is why you see us doing it here. Although it can be a little bit intimidating from a process perspective, as long as you take your time, measure a whole bunch of times before you cut anything, especially before you drill anything, check, recheck, and recheck along the way. Don't rush it. The tools provided to you, especially from AeroCatch, are extremely easy to read, easy to use, very user-friendly. All it takes is a little bit of patience, a little bit of a steady hand, and maybe a buddy to help you out. In addition to the functionality benefits, there's just no way around the fact that these things look awesome. Super happy with how this turned out. Really adds a bit more aggressiveness to the overall styling of the car, and at the end of the day, helps keep our hood closed. Okay, so fast forwarding a little bit, once we got the hood done, we did get some other goodies that we had been waiting on installed. Check this out. We've got this awesome radiator cooling shroud from APR, which I think really ties everything together. We also had an 08 aluminum valve cover out for powder that we were waiting on. Got that in. Got our spark plug cover installed, and I think that really just kind of pulls the color scheme together as far as the whole black, polished, red, you know, the carbon. I think it's really all starting to come together really, really nice. This piece is wonderful. Everything fits in here very nicely. We did make a slight modification down here, nothing crazy, just to make the blow-off valve partition perfect. But other than that, I mean, absolutely no complaints. This thing is really coming along. The last thing we got to address is fuel system and fuel rail. We're gonna have a nice piece that replaces this coming in shortly. Man, just couldn't be happier with how this thing's looking. So super exciting surprise. We've got a friend here to help us with a pretty big part of the project that we haven't told you guys about. We have Jorn here from FX Window Tinting, but you guys do a lot more than window tinting, don't you?
We do a lot more. We do a lot of graphics, wraps, we do lip kits and stuff. Big help from Custom Offsets, the guys at MAP here up in Wrightstown. Once again, thanks Zach for inviting us up here. We're gonna work on this car for you guys.
Hell yeah.
And see what we can do.
These are the glasses that I put on when I tune the out of somebody's car.
We are down with our friends at Boosting Performance because it is finally time to get our Evo 10 tuned and tuned right.
All right, so we kind of touched base on the flex fuel sensor earlier and how that's integrated into the tune and how the ECU can read it. So these are kind of the settings that we basically blend the tunes. There's two different tunes. There's like the 93 octane tune and there's the ethanol tune. And then basically you can blend those maps if you get a mix in between or anything beyond or below what those two maps are set up for. So basically,
awesome.
Right here, we've got ethanol content here, right?
Okay.
That ends up being on the x-axis right here. And this is how we're gonna blend fueling. So fueling would be like your injector scaler, which is like your main global injector or your main global adjustment for fueling. So it's like the main adjustment that would add the 30% for E85 or take away the 30%.
Okay.
And you can see how we're blending it evenly, all the way from 10% ethanol all the way up to 85% ethanol.
Yeah.
So that global adjustment will adjust all the way from 10% all the way up to 85%, right?
Awesome.
We do that for fueling, but then when it comes to the tune, there's basically three different settings for the tune. There's like the fuel map setting, there's the boost map setting, and there's the timing map setting. So on these, we actually don't do it the same. So you can see how it's flat from 10% to 20%. So we're gonna be using that 93 octane fuel target and timing target all the way to 20% ethanol. And it doesn't start blending right away. And then if you look at the upper end of the graph, we've got full boost and full ignition timing at the car at E75.
Okay.
So basically anything from E75 and above would be full power. So that'll have like your full boost target at it, and that'll have the full timing map of your ethanol tune at it. Anything above E75 will make the same power, but as you can see by that earlier graph, the fueling will still adjust. So say you have E75 in the car, the AFR target should hit, let's say 11.8 or 11.6. When you put E85 in the car, it's still gonna hit that same 11.6.
Cool.
So that's what's really nice about the flex fuel sensor. That looks really good.
Sweet.
These are the fuel trims right here, these two values. So you want these to be close to 0, and as you can see, we're driving around, and that's how much the car is compensating. It's going like -1, +1.
Wow.
So that shows you that the idle and the drivability tune-up for this fuel system is really, really close.
Very cool.
That looks really nice. Look at that power band.
Get in on there. Does look very nice, very smooth. After a very successful pump gas tune, it was time to get the car prepped for flex fuel. So we pulled all the pump gas out of the car and loaded it up with ethanol. Based on the results from the pump gas tune, we were expecting somewhere between 30 and 40 additional horsepower and torque on the ethanol setup. Once the fuel was exchanged, Devin got back in the car and got back to work.
Ready to party?
Let's do it.
All right. It's only 28 pounds of boost. This thing is making some good power for the boost that it's at.
Hell yeah.
Which means that it's, you know, it's just efficient and moving good air for that boost level. It's not like every Evo 10 at 25 pounds of boost is going to make the same horsepower. It's not.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So is this telling you something specific about maybe the setup on the car or anything like that?
It's everything is breathing very well.
Okay.
So that just tells you everything before the turbo, after the turbo. It's very happy.
Cool. Awesome.
So since the car is tuned, we're going to log it through all the gears, just make sure everything's happy.
Cool. Yeah, no big deal.
Get your car tuned down the street and then have your tuner verify like that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why a dyno is so valuable.
Right.
Perfect. So the red is your 93 octane, which was killer. 323. Let's not guess. Let's actually show you. Made 326 horse, 323 torque.
Nice.
That's the red line.
Very nice.
And then it got cranked up on the 85. That's your blue line. That's torque. That's horsepower. Just over 370 torque. Almost 360 horse.
That's really good power.
Yeah, and you can see, I mean, it's jumping up the entire power band.
Jeez.
So, and that was at 27, 28 boost target. So like I said, usually it's 28 to 30, but we didn't need that. And it'll really only make that 30 pounds down here, which we don't
Sure.
need more power down there.
Sure.
So we've got the wastegate duty pulled way down low to where even if like you're on the highway or something and you like, it boost spikes, it really can't because of that electronic boost control solenoid will keep the boost down and keep the torque from spiking like that. So
Sure.
that's really crucial when you're, you know, running close to the torque limit of the engine, which this is pretty close to the torque limit.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask about that as far as
so
where
like
we're
I mean,
sitting here.
you could make more torque, but I wouldn't suggest making it earlier in the power band. So we've got a torque peak of like 42, 4,300. That's pretty big, or that's pretty good. If you make that torque peak happen at 2,500 or $3,000, this motor is done.
And you're saying that is the thing with these is where you insert the torque.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm super impressed.
Thank you.
I mean, just to boil it all down to one word, impressed, excited.
Yeah, I didn't expect this thing to make that much power in the stock turbo. So, and it's sick seeing the difference with the ethanol and pump gas. Like,
Yeah.
tons more torque, you know, lot broader power band, everything. going to be a blast to drive.
Just very impressive.
And it's going to be seamless because you don't have to change tunes or like, oh, I'm on the wrong map, I got to change maps. It's like you pump the gas and you're done.
Yeah.
So
user friendly.
Say you put in E40, say a gas station has like E50 or something. It doesn't matter. The car will run perfect.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about the tune being off. Say you put in E85, like really, really good, you know, the tune will be perfect. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to switch it. So that's what's really nice for the customer, in my opinion.
All right, so the thing is built, tuned, ready to rip. What's next? We're gonna use it. We got some autocross planned and then maybe even some big track stuff. You guys will just have to wait and see. But wait, there's more. The build's not done. As happy as we are with how this thing turned out and all of our plans for it this coming season, we have an entire second phase of this build planned for later this year that you are definitely not gonna wanna miss. For myself, RJ, and everybody here, thanks a ton for hanging out with us during this build series. We had a ton of fun. Hope you did too. Don't forget to drop a like on the video. Please subscribe if you had a good time because we'll be seeing you very soon.